One measure of a career is the financial remuneration and whether your money and health needs are taken care of. My next guest, a federal retiree, analyzed the question of whether he was right to switch from the private sector to federal. Here with what he found, Abe Grungold, owner of AG Financial Services. And you took a long look back at a long career, Abe, and just give us what you were doing here.
Tom, this was a question that has always plagued me my entire federal career. Did I make the right choice from leaving my senior position at a hospital and transitioning to the government? Because I took a $12,000 pay cut, which was about 35% of my previous salary, to work for the government. And I always wondered, did I make the right choice?
Well, let me ask you this, though. What was the motivation in the first place to go to the government?
Well, the hospital was going through a lot of financial problems. They had merged with another hospital, and I saw the beginnings of the decline of this hospital, and I didn't see a future with the hospital. I was afraid I was going to get laid off one day.
Sure.
So that's why I sought something else, a little bit more secure. And it's funny, in 1985, I started with the government, and a very close friend of mine also started at the hospital in 1985. I recently had dinner with her, and we discussed our salary, our benefits, and her future retirement. She's going to retire in 3 years. And it was just wonderful comparing my federal salary and benefits and retirement comparing to hers. And I learned quite a bit.
Now, we know from previous interviews that you are a multimillionaire in the TSP, and you are not 3 years from retirement, but about 3 years into retirement, enjoying the pickleball life and so on. So tell us about what some of the findings were compared to your friend.
Yeah, so we hit upon 5 major areas: salary, health insurance, the TSP or her 401k, the retirement monthly annuity, and life insurance. So what I found out from the salary is that in the hospital, they did not provide very many COLAs over the past 40 years. I remember receiving a COLA once in the 7 years that I was there. Now, with the government, I basically received a COLA every year with the government. I think during the last 40 years, there were 2 or maybe 3 occasions where the government did not provide a COLA. So even though I started my federal career at a lower hourly rate, I accelerated through promotions, and my salary was much higher than my friend's present salary, who was also a manager. But I think that was largely due to the COLAs. That was largely due to the COLAs.
The cost of living adjustments, by the way, for those that don't know what a COLA is. So you ended up ahead in the long run on salary then.
Yes. I ended up with a $75 per hour salary that I had 3 years ago, and her present salary is $55 with a maximum she can achieve is $65 per hour. And I was already at the maximum when I retired with the government. But I think that difference in salary was certainly due to all the COLAs that I had received during my federal career. And with respect to insurance, health insurance, the government provides a large variety of health insurance plans to pick from. The hospital where my friend works, they basically only have 2 or 3 choices. And variety is really the spice of life in health insurance. You want to pick a health insurance plan that really tailors to your needs, and that is very important. But the most critical part of the health insurance benefit is I carried my health insurance into retirement. My friend will not have that opportunity to take their health insurance into retirement.
Sure.
So that is a big, big benefit that I receive.
Yes, in some ways it's one of the biggest ones, and it's really pretty much that situation for the rest of the private sector as well as your friend. We're speaking with Abe Grungold, retired federal employee and now owner of AG Financial Services. And then there's the TSP and the ability to save in a 401k, in which the government and private are a little bit more equal in most circumstances.
Yes, my friend had a variety of different deferred compensation plans to pick from: a 401k, a Roth IRA, and a 403b. And I remember participating in the 403b when I was at the hospital. But with the government and the TSP, I have always received a 5% matching to my TSP every year of federal service. My friend has never received any matching from her employer to her tax-deferred plan. And that is probably the most important benefit that a federal employee can obtain in addition to their health insurance. So that is where I really grew tremendously with my 401k. I certainly didn't ask my friend what her balance was, but the key is that she never received any matching.
There's so many variables, such as your tolerance for aggressive investing for much of those years, and you had a pretty good tolerance for that.
Yes. I mean, I was a roller coaster rider, and I was always aggressive with my TSP. And the merry-go-round riders are the ones who are solely in the G fund. There's nothing wrong with those investors, but if you want to be a TSP millionaire, you've got to ride the roller coaster. And that was a big difference I found in our discussion, was the employer matching.
And then the other factor is, if you had a steadily higher increase in pay, then the more you contribute to Social Security, which means that at the end of a career, your Social Security benefit is greater.
Yes. I mean, certainly my Social Security benefit would be higher. I didn't even ask my friend about that because I knew that was already going to be true, so we didn't even hit upon that question. But what I did ask her was about her retirement annuity that she would receive from the hospital after 39 years, or she'll have over 40 years when she retires. Now, I didn't have her formula for her retirement annuity, but we did discuss what the amount is, and mine was more than twice what she would be receiving. She's going to receive $1,800 per month, and I received at retirement $4,500 per month as my annuity. Now, that is probably also largely due that I have a higher salary, and I also receive COLAs for my retirement annuity. She did not know if she's going to receive any COLAs, and I don't think she will, because they usually buy those from an insurance company.
You're a FERS retired.
I was always, a FERS employee. And certainly your retirement annuity is very important. It's one of the three-legged parts to your stool, and your three-legged stool is your annuity, your TSP, and also your FEHB plan that you can take into retirement. And the last thing that we discussed was life insurance. Life insurance is something that she was always able to obtain at the hospital, and I could obtain it through the government. But the key difference is that she cannot take her life insurance into retirement. That benefit will end once she ends her employment. With the government, you can take your life insurance into retirement, and the government provides a basic $10,000 free portion to your life insurance, I believe, when you hit age 65. But you can still carry any amount of life insurance into retirement as a federal employee.